The madness is upon us, and everyone's excited. From opening tip to one shining moment, for that we are delighted. But conference tournaments are where we'll start to allow those teams to set themselves apart. Because this is the Big West. Tuesday showcase at the Thunderdome. Santa Barbara has won 6 of 7. They welcome CSUN. Fast start for UC Santa Barbara. Amadou Sow with the dunk. Hit his first 5 shots, was in double digits before the seats were warm, ended up with 26 on the night. Matadors pick it up. Here's Kalen Rains with the 3, cutting the lead to 6. Later, Miles James goes baseline for the dunk. CSUN's within 4. Ajari Sani rounding into shape for the Gauchos, returning from injury, buries the 3. Elijah Hardy to the tin for CSUN, the and 1, ended up with 15 points. Santa Barbara up 6 at the break. Second half, Hardy again for 3 for the Matadors coming out of the box. Player of the week, A.J. Mitchell. He responds for UC Santa Barbara. He ended up with 17. Wisher to the bucket for the Gauchos. Can't finish, but Amadou Sow there for the follow. 7 rebounds to go with his 26 points. Josh Pierre-Louis, the acrobatics here for the Gauchos, puts Santa Barbara up by 10. 3 more from Ajari Sani. This extends the Gauchos' lead to 13. He finished with 8 on the night. Matadors trying to make it a game. Onyi Aisi against his old prolific prep teammate. So, the second effort, he had 12. It's a 6-point game. Other side, A.J. Mitchell again for the Gauchos. From the seat of his pants, the bounce, and the and 1. Atten Wright out of the corner for CSUN. 3 of his 11 makes it a 6-point game, but that's as close as the Matadors could get. Gauchos, winners of 7 of their last 8, look to be hitting their stride as we head into March. We start off Thursday's action at historic Titan Gym, where UC Riverside takes on Cal State Fullerton, both teams still alive for the top spot. Zion Pullen gets it started for UC Riverside, 15 points on the night for Pullen. Titans get it going on defense. Here's the transition. Trey Maddox Jr. to E.J. Anisicki for 2 of his 17. Dunk you very much. Damari Milstead wants to get into the action, even if he has to steal to do it. The Titans with the lead. Speaking of transition, how about Will Tattersall running the floor? Here's the feed from Dom Pickett, and we're tied at 28. Callum McRae, 1 of his 4 assists, finds Flynn Cameron, who went for 14, 4 bonus buckets for Cameron. Other side, E.J. Anisicki finds Jalen Harris for the 3, 1 of his 3 assists on the game. Here's Pullen, the cross-court dime to a wide-open Dom Pickett. You know he ain't missing that one. Highlanders shoot 61% in the first half. We're tied at 36 at the break. Second half, Tattersall, 3 of 5 from distance, ends up with 15. He gives UC Riverside a 9-point lead. Pullen finds Pickett again from the mission in. 3 of his 14. The UCR lead swells to a dozen. Not over yet, though, for Fullerton. Watch Jalen Harris and E.J. Anisicki here execute the pick and roll. They trim the lead to 6. Damari Milstead all the way to the rim here for the Titans, the and 1. It's a 4-point game. He would hit the free throw for good measure. Milstead again here off the return pass from Jalen Harris. He knocks it down. 3 of his 26. We have a 2-point game. 15 seconds left. Both Milstead and Jalen Harris with a chance to tie, but the iron unkind. Flynn Cameron, tough in traffic for Riverside, grabs the rebound, held ball to the Highlanders with 7 seconds left. Still a 1-possession game. Pickett misses the free throw. Anisicki with the rebound. One last chance for Milstead, but he cannot connect. Heartbreak for Fullerton. Riverside holds on for the win and sweeps the Titans. Go ahead and untuck, Dom. Next up, let's head to Icardo Center for CSUB and UC San Diego. David Walker, the straightaway three, gets it going for the Roadrunners. This is Walker again, this time the transition bucket, 2 of his 12, CSUB up by 8. Tony Roshak finds Bryce Pope in the corner. That's 3 of Pope's 19. Runners lead down to 4. Jace Rockamore to a cutting Francis Wakoria. The Tritons have the lead. 11 points for Wakoria on the game. Caden Rashid from the left wing. He was 4 of 5 from distance. Tritons now with a 2-point lead. Late first half, Justin McCall for CSUB doing what he does, playing downhill to the iron. We go to the break, tied at 29. We jump to late second half. Here's Tony Roshak leading the break for the Tritons. Feeds Rashid, this time on the right wing. 12 points for Rashid, and the Tritons up by 8. Roshak again with the tough take for the reverse layup down low. He had 15 and 7. But the runners aren't going anywhere. Here's McCall down the lane. He won't finish, but Bino Smith with the putback and the and one. 9 points and 11 rebounds for Smith. Runners down 2. Big spot for Justin McCall, and he hits from the mid-range. 26 points and 7 rebounds for McCall. The Runners and the Tritons are tied at 70. Time running down in the lane. Bryce Pope, the short jumper for UC San Diego, and they have the lead. Last chance for CSUB. Here's the inbound pass from Schumann. CSUB can't get the shot off. The Tritons hang on for the win in Baco. Let's head to the Pyramid for UC Davis and Long Beach State. We'll jump ahead to the second half. The Aggies, they led by 7 at the break. Kane Milling starts it off right with the 3. He hit all 5 of his shots, including 3 trays for 14 points. But Jadon Jones does him one better with the deep 3 and 1. Jones with 21 on 6 of 13 shooting from the arc for Long Beach State. The captain, Jordan Roberts, with the mid-range. He had 12 on the night. The Beach extends their lead to 4 points. Roberts this time on the feed to Jones for the 3. Lead now 7 for Long Beach State. 5-point game, Caleb Fuller with the bounce pass on the baseline finds Elijah Pepper. He pours it in. He had 11 for UC Davis. Later, Pepper returns the favor. Caleb Fuller, who'd missed some time this year, knocks down the 3 to tie it. Fuller had 10 points and 9 rebounds on the game. Still tied, Colin Slater finds Jordan Roberts on the long pass for the lay-in. The Beach back up by 2. Oh, captain, my captain. 3-point lead now for Long Beach State. Here's Slater down the lane. It won't go, but Abubakar Traore with the finish. Abubakar had the double-double, 14 points and 14 rebounds on the night. Down 3, here's Elijah Pepper for UC Davis. He's got the sleight of hand bid. He gets Jones in the air and draws the foul, which will give him 3 free throws. He hit them all to tie it at 65. But here comes Colin Slater, 0 for 12 on the night from the floor, but this is lucky 13. 8 lead changes on the game, and Slater ends it for Long Beach State. Time to celebrate in the 5-6-2. They will be the top seed in this week's Big West tournament. They're doing the Macarena at Mott because it's 90s night as the Mustangs welcome the Anteaters. Cam Pierce, tub thumping for 2 of his 11, puts his team up by 10. Here's Julian Franklin showing the Anteaters what it's like. Mustangs up 13. All Dawson Baker can say is that his life is pretty plain, but when he throws the ball to the rim, it usually drains. Eaters trim the lead to 6. Ali Karoma gets funky with the Cheese Whiz, the and 1, lead back to 9 after he hits the free throw. Late first half, Colin Velp, the rebirth of Slick, because he's cool like that, jumper, trims the Cal Poly lead to 7 at the break. Karoma starts the second half with a 3. Hey now, he's an all-star. Get your game on. Dawson Baker, though, showing his teammates, this is how we do it, cuts the lead to 6 with 3 of his 18. Approaching 12 minutes to play, Ofiure Ujadugale for UC Irvine. He's going to regulate, going coast to coast. Eaters come all the way back to cut the lead to 3. But here comes the hot stepper for Cal Poly. That's Cameron Pierce, 2 of his 11. Cal Poly now by 5. Alamami Karoma again in transition. 2 of his career-high 27 on the night. He's living la vida loca. Julian Franklin off the feed from Karoma. He hits the 3. Well, there's nothing he can do. He only wants to be with you. 11 for Franklin. Mustangs by 10. TJ Taylor strokes the 3. He ends up with 8 on the game. It's closing time for Cal Poly. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Mustangs end their 8-game losing streak, get to celebrate with the fans. A fun night at Mott Athletic Center for everyone but the Anteaters of UC Irvine. Season finale at the Thunderdome, UC Santa Barbara taking on Hawaii. Key game for both teams with regard to Big West Tournament seeding. Amadou Sow down low with the feed to Josh Pierre-Louis, who announces his presence with authority. Miles Norris flashes for A.J. Mitchell, who gets it to him. Santa Barbara up 7. Norris with 12 points and 7 rebounds on the evening. Here come the Bows, though. Kamaka Hepa, the transition 3. He was 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. The Jerome DeRosier 3 gives Hawaii the lead, one of 3 bonus buckets for DeRosier on the game. Jovan McClanahan gets into the act for the Bows. He goes and gets it and hits the 3. Now Hawaii is up by 7. Late first half, Amadou Sow down low against De Silva. He clears some space scoring the bucket. He had 14 to go with 7 rebounds on the game. First half winding down, Bows move the ball. They find DeRosier in the corner for the bucket. 2 of his 15, a 3-point lead for Hawaii at the break. Second half, here's Kamaka Hepa out of the corner. He buries the 3, led the Bows with 19 on the game to go with his 7 rebounds. Hawaii up by 6. Josh Pierre-Louis the other way for Santa Barbara. Down the lane, the spin, the switch, the kiss. He ends up with 16 for the Gauchos. Score tied, Amadou Sow down low for Santa Barbara. Left hand, no, but the follow goes. His team's back in the lead. Hepa again with one of his 5 threes. Buries it and draws Hawaii to back within a point of the Gauchos. Great find here from Ajari Sane to Miles Norris for the dunk. Big bucket for both Norris and UC Santa Barbara. Pierre-Louis again off the dribble to the cylinder. Tough take through contact. Scores the goal and gives UC Santa Barbara a 5-point lead. Hepa tries to make it a 2-point game with under a minute to go, but off the mark, the rebound to the Gauchos. UC Santa Barbara closes out the regular season with a win at home. They've won 8 of their last 9. Coach Joe Pasternak, he's fired up. Players celebrating with the students. Are you not entertained? Saturday matinee at Accardo Center. Let's call it the Pat Douglas Invitational. Eaters, runners. First half, Justin Hone, the 3 off the inbound. He finished with 12. Later, DJ Davis, he pulls up, nails the 3. Irvine in the lead. Late first half, Higgins can't connect, but the runners crash the glass. Sean Stith comes up with the putback. CSU to the break with a 1-point advantage. Second half, still a tight game. DJ Davis uses the screen, hits the 3, giving the Eaters a 5-point lead. He went 4 of 8 from long distance. Later, Davis again for the Eaters, this time in the lane. 2 of his 24, pushes Irvine's lead to a dozen. But here come the runners. Panopio finds Bino Smith for the mid-range, 2 of his 11. Later, 5-point game. Justin McCall does the skywalking on the baseline for the jam. He finished with a dozen. Eaters holding a precarious lead here off the inbound. Caleb Higgins for the runners, clutch 3, 1-possession game. But the Eaters cash in their free throws and hold off CSUB. They open the Big West tournament against UC Santa Barbara, while the runners will play CSUN on Tuesday. Coming up next, regular season finale from the Valley as the Bows look to bounce back against CSUN. Jump to the second half, Kamaka Hepa hits here for 2 of his 15. He also ended up with 7 rebounds. But Attenwright responds for CSUN, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. Matadors hanging in. Big-to-big passing, Jerome DeRosier feeds Bernardo de Silva for 2 of his 11. He also had 6 rebounds on the game. Kamaka Hepa finds Amuro Lado here for the jumper. Lado had 11 points off the bench for Hawaii. Matadors trying to keep it close. Miles James to Attenwright, right underneath, ended up with 28 on the game. But Junior Marut starts to push the door closed for CSUN with the 3. He had 18 on the game and was 4 of 6 from distance. Moments later, Madut again pushing the Hawaii lead to 14. Chris Tiff needs to call a timeout. Hawaii rolled from there, winning 84-62. They'll play UC Riverside in the first round on Thursday. CSUN takes on CSU Bakersfield on Tuesday. Regular season finale from Mott Athletic Center. The Tritons of UC San Diego in town from La Jolla. Tony Roshak on the drive, 2 of his 24 to go with 6 rebounds for UC San Diego. Francis Wakoria, best freshman this side of Abubakar Traore, uses glass, 2 of his 21 for the Tritons. Jake Kozakowski buries the 3. He was 5 for 6 from bonus distance for 15. UC San Diego up by 10. They lead by 8 at the half. Second half, Tuukka Jaakkola out of the basket, tangles up with Rochak. That's a foul in every city and every nation from Lake Geneva to the Finland station. Cal Poly starts to dig in. Jaakkola finds Kobe Sanders for 3 of his 17. He also hit 5 of 6 from behind the arc. Brantley Stevenson in the lane for 2 of his 17. He had 7 rebounds as well for the Mustangs. Cam Pierce down inside gives Cal Poly the lead with the and 1. 12 points for Pierce along with 11 assists on the game. Ali Karoma can't finish, but TJ Taylor cleans it up. The junior transfer with 13 points and 6 rebounds. Mustangs hit their free throws down the stretch and close out the regular season with a win at Mott. Brantley Stevenson celebrating with the fans. The Mustangs will head to Henderson as the 10 seed on Tuesday. Historic Titan gym for the Titans and the Aggies. Jalen Harris at the end of the first half, 3 of his 14. Fullerton goes to the break up 7. Second half, Caleb Fuller cuts the lead to 3 for the Titans. He ends up with 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists for UC Davis. Later, Fuller finding Kane Milling in the corner. Milling buries it. He ends up with 14 and 7 for the Aggies. 4-point game, but Trey Maddox to the hole for Fullerton and 1. He hits the floor hard. Maddox ended up with 12 on the night. Jalen Harris can't finish in close on the leaner, but EJ Anisicki with the follow. He had 20 points to go with 8 rebounds. Last chance for Davis, down 3, but they can't get the ball in. EJ Anisicki for the Titans defense. Fullerton locks up second place in the conference. They'll take on the winner of Davis and Cal Poly Thursday in Henderson. And we finish up at the Pyramid with Long Beach State and UC Riverside. 15th regular season title for the Beach, the first since 2013. Late first half, Dom Pickett gives UCR the lead with this 3. He ended up with 10 on the evening. Then the Beach captain, Jordan Roberts, with this bucket. 20 points for Roberts in his final home game in Long Beach. End of the half, Zion Pullen hits as time expires, perhaps a harbinger of things to come. Riverside up 4 at the intermission. Second half, Callum McRae, 2 of his 14. He also had 10 rebounds for the double-double in the season finale. Tie game, and here's Jordan Roberts again. Lines up his feet like he's fearless Freddie Banks, and the Beach are up by 3. Will Tattersall, the Aussie, off the pass from Pickett, the mid-range. He also wants the flop warning, and UCR is to within 1. Pullen all the way to the cup, the and 1 as well. 24 points for Zion Pullen to go with 7 rebounds and 7 assists. He would hit the free throw as well. But here comes Thursday's hero, Colin Slater for Long Beach. Is it a 3 or not? Ended up being a 2, but the game's tied. Will go to overtime. Slater with 12 on the evening. Overtime, here's Joel Murray. 3 of his 26 on the night. The Beach takes the lead. But there's always hope for the Highlanders as long as Dom Pickett is on the scene. Another clutch shot from Dom. UC Riverside pulls ahead. Last chance for Long Beach State. Jadon Jones. He'll get the call with 1 second left. Free throws coming up. Jones hits them both, but the Highlanders will get one last run up the floor to see if they can make something happen. Zion Pullen with the long pass into the front court. Callum McRae thinks he was fouled, but to no avail. The Beach, outright Big West champions. Long Beach State takes on the winner of CSUN and CSUB, while UC Riverside squares off against Hawaii Thursday in Henderson. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in Henderson.